Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Shark Bytes. We've got another viral videos episode for you today, and it's been a little while since we did one of these, so there's a lot of clips to get through. Today we've got some crazy behaviors on show across the board, featuring Pyjama Sharks, Manta Rays, and great whites. Right, okay, let's not waste any more time and check them out. Up first, we have the fairly recent news of the death of Simon Nellist, a Brit living in Australia who was killed by a great white shark. And I know a lot of you out there are keen to hear my thoughts on this one. Now, before we start, I'm just going to say I won't be playing the video of this that went viral, which I'm sure that lots of you have seen. I don't think it's fair to splash the last few moments of this man's life across social media, but what I will do is give you my thoughts and opinions on the incident. So a few weeks back, Simon Nellist was tragically killed by a great white shark off Buchan Point near Sydney in Australia, which is the first fatal attack in the area in nearly 60 years. Simon was training for a swimming event when the incident took place mere meters from the rocks, much to the dismay of many of the onlookers. The shark, which was reportedly around 14 to 15 feet in length, attacked from below, causing catastrophic injuries to Simon, and the incident was over within a few seconds. I think most shockingly though, the whole scene was pretty much entirely caught on camera by those standing on the rocks, which then subsequently went viral across social media. Now, obviously this is a pretty horrific event, and even more so when you consider the fact that it was caught on video. I have seen the footage and it really does make for some pretty grim viewing, guys, and I've never seen anything quite like this. But as a shark scientist, I can speculate what happened here, and importantly, I do say speculate because I am not a shark attack specialist, nor am I a specialist in great white shark behavior. So firstly, we've got to take into account the location. This is an area of deep water that meets a rocky cliff face, so already the water is going to be pretty turbulent from those waves splashing up against the sides of the rocks. So we're in an area where visibility is likely not great. These types of areas are generally where lots of fish species aggregate, including some larger game fish, so it's a prime spot for a great white shark to look for prey. This is also shown by the fact that some of the onlookers there were fishing, and this is where we have to start thinking, okay, there's probably bait in the water, so this is another thing that's going to attract a great white shark. Then we put Simon Nellist into the mix, and he's there swimming and splashing, and also wearing a dark-coloured wetsuit. These factors then all combine, creating a recipe for a shark attack. The bit that I'm struggling to explain, though, is why the shark comes back and eats half of the body after those catastrophic wounds had been delivered. And all I can suggest on that one is that once that shark has expended the energy on that initial attack, it needs to then reap the benefits of feeding. This shark was likely an incredibly bold individual and also pretty hungry. They are predators at the end of the day, and predators will eat what they can to survive. When it comes to the criticism of those who captured the incident on film, I would hold off from shaming them too much. In those few seconds, I doubt that those who filmed that incident could actually comprehend what was going on enough for them to realize that filming it probably wasn't the best idea. Posting it on social media afterwards, though, is slightly different, and I'm not the biggest fan of that, to be honest. Although those who witnessed this event happening are likely going to be pretty traumatized by what they saw in the weeks and months ahead. I think what also makes this pretty devastating is the fact that Simon was a real advocate for sharks and was a massive opposer of the shark nets and drum lines that are used to deter sharks in that part of the world. Obviously, this is a really sad but isolated incident, and sometimes these things do happen with sharks. My thoughts can only go out to Simon and his friends and family. Okay, on to some slightly more upbeat viral videos now, as this next clip shows some amazing manta ray behavior. In the clip uploaded by the Manta Trust, we can see the awesome courtship behavior of manta rays, which is not often caught on film. In manta ray courtship, a number of males will follow a single female around in what's known as a mating train. The male closest to her will mimic her movements in an attempt to impress her, although the female will often make this pretty difficult for the males by sort of twisting and turning and sometimes even jumping out of the water. Eventually, a suitable male is identified by the female and the mating can begin. What an awesome thing to capture on film. Sometimes those mating trains can be absolutely massive as well, with one female being followed by up to 30 males. Sounds like an absolute nightmare for the female. On to our next clip now, and after mating in some elasmobranchs, it's time to lay your eggs, and this behavior from a pyjama shark has been captured on film. The video posted by CA Academy of Sciences on Twitter shows a pyjama shark, which is in an aquarium, laying one of her egg cases. She spins around this pretty sturdy piece of kelp, and the long tendrils of the egg case are wrapped around it to keep it nice and secure. Lots of demersal and benthic shark species lay their egg cases just like this, and they want to make sure they're nice and stable on bits of kelp so that they're not washed away in currents or storms. Not gonna lie, I was definitely getting a bit dizzy watching that. I think it's pretty cool to see this behavior captured on film, even if it is in an aquarium. The egg case that you see her laying there is also known as a mermaid's purse, and you can find lots of these washed up on beaches, usually after storms. They're generally empty, indicating the shark has already hatched. I've actually got one here that some eagle-eyed viewers might have spotted in the background of these Shark Bites videos. This is the egg case of a lesser spotted dogfish, which is found here in Cornwall, and you can really see the long tendrils there that are perfect for tying these egg cases to kelp. Now, next up, I know we had that pretty awful great white shark story earlier on the episode, but we've got another one here that shows you the complete opposite. The video uploaded by Darren Verback in Hawaii shows a super curious great white shark approaching him in the water. The white comes up nice and close to check him out before slowly heading off into the distance. So I think here it possibly could be coming to check out the electrical impulses that are being emitted from his camera, although we can't know that for sure. I think this clip shows you that 99% of the time, white sharks are just pretty curious animals and will generally just come up to you, check you out, and then head off on their way. I think as well, if you compare this to the conditions earlier with Simon Nellist, we're in clear water here, there's no bait around, and the guy filming is remaining nice and calm. What an awesome encounter though. Darren even has a little giggle about it as the white heads off. Have a listen. Love that. Okay, next up, we've got this really cool encounter between a clownfish and a black-tip reef shark that was caught on a bruv. Suzanne Mills uploaded this clip onto Twitter where you can see this orange-fin anemone fish, aka a clownfish, biting the tail of this passing black-tip reef shark before the shark hurries off into the distance. Clownfish are notoriously territorial, defending their anemone from other fish species and smaller predators, but to see this happen to a significantly larger animal like a shark is pretty rare. Suzanne actually has written a brief paper on this, suggesting that this could be evidence of mobbing behavior, which is where animals harass predators to stop them predating on them, and it's a pretty common behavior amongst birds, mammals, and fish. This is why I love bruvs, guys. You get awesome little behaviors like this captured on film. Clownfish are definitely aggressive little fish species though. I got charged by one in Australia, so they're really not afraid of things that are bigger than them in the water. Okay, we're heading back to rays now, as this next video might just confirm why rays jump out of the water. Uploaded by Nature is Lit on Instagram, we can see an eagle ray being very closely followed by some pesky clingers, but I can't quite tell what they are. Anyway, the eagle ray has had enough of them as it surges out the water, does a quick jump, and splashes down away from them. These clingers usually group underneath larger marine animals for protection, but sometimes that might just be a bit too annoying for the one who's being clung onto. We've speculated on the channel in the past as to why rays launch themselves out of the water, and the removal of clingers and parasites is definitely thought to be one of those reasons. And I'm pretty sure this video clearly demonstrates that. Awesome. Up next, we have the pretty bizarre story of a preserved shark that has been repeatedly going viral for what seems like the last 10 years. In the video, we can see Rosie, a taxidermied shark, being prepared to leave an abandoned wildlife park in Australia. If you hadn't heard of the story of Rosie the shark, you should definitely Google it because it's pretty creepy. Long story short, though, she was left preserved in a wildlife park that was abandoned, but in 2012, YouTuber and urban explorer Luke McPherson rediscovered her, and the video we made went viral, leading to hundreds of people breaking into the wildlife park to try and see her. Anyway, after a long campaign, she was finally moved to Crystal World Exhibition Centre, where the restoration process is well underway. They're actually even making a documentary about her story, and I can totally see Netflix snapping that up at some point. But yeah, definitely go and read up on the story of Rosie the preserved shark. It's pretty bizarre. And then finally, we've got a really cool video that went viral where people were trying to spot the shark. The video uploaded to Instagram is pretty stunning just on its own, but in this clip somewhere is a shark. It started to go viral with people desperately trying to spot the shark and then becoming increasingly agitated when they couldn't. Let's have a look then. Can you see it? I wouldn't blame you if you couldn't, to be fair, because it's very much a blink and you'll miss it type thing. The shark appears for a second right at the start of the clip before it becomes hidden by the breaking waves and then doesn't appear after that. If you didn't spot it, it's right here. Sneaky bugger. I suppose it just shows you that even from aerial footage, it can be insanely difficult to find a shark. Hang on a minute. My mum's calling me. Hi, Mum. I'm just recording a Shark Bites episode.
2 hours later.
Okay. I'll call you back. Okay, bye. Bye-bye. You couldn't write it. Anyway, where were we? I think I was saying something about it. Even from aerial footage, it's really, really difficult to spot a shark in the water. I think it's important to remember, though, they're likely always there. You might not know they're there, but they definitely know you're there. So there we go, guys. There's your roundup of viral shark and ray video clips from the last few months. Which one of those clips was your favorite? I think mine was definitely that clownfish and blacktip reef shark, but that's because I'm a sucker for bruvs. So let me know which one your favorite was in the comments. And I'm pretty keen to hear all your thoughts on the Simon Nellist incident, so post what you think below. Also, if you've seen any shark or ray viral videos that you want to feature on one of these compilations, then make sure you send them my way. The best way to get in touch with me is on Twitter, so come and have a chat. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, please do give it a like, and don't forget to subscribe to the Shark Bytes channel below, where you can stay up to date with all of our latest videos. Until then, see you next time.